Good morning to all the respected sir and ma'am. My name is Vaibhav Goyal. I am heading marketing and training division in Balani Infotech. We Balani Group has been serving the whole research fraternity in India since many decades. And it was a vision of our visionary managing director, Mr. Kailash Balani, to provide a platform where library and information science experts could come and engage in discussions regarding knowledge and the current topics which could be of benefit to the whole community. Hence, this series of webinar with the name D-Wire came into existence. I welcome you all to the first webinar on D-Wire platform. Before we start the session, I would like to cover three basic details. First is regarding the technical glitch. As we all know, this is a technical online session, so anytime anything may happen. So in case anywhere in between you feel like that you are not in the meeting room, you can again use the same link which you received earlier and you can join the session again. We do have a team with us here as co-host, which they people will keep moving the session, so you will not feel like anything interrupted. Second thing, regarding e-certificates, at the last of the session, we will share the detail of the email ID where we will require you all to send your details to get the e-certificates for this session. And the third and the one of the most important point is quiz. As you all know, anyone could win the amazing gift vouchers at the last. So there will be a quiz where a link will be shared in the last of the session where everyone would be having same access rights at the same time, and you can answer the quiz questions and you can win prizes. The winners first, second, third will get the prizes which we will be announcing in next 24 hours. So coming back onto our session, now I would like to ask Mr. Manish, Head Marketing India from ACS, to take the session and take it forward.
So thank you, Weber. Very good morning to everyone. I am Manish Unyal, Marketing Manager for American Chemical Society. First of all, I would like to thank Balani Infotech team for providing me this opportunity to moderate this session with our distinguished guests. Before we start the presentations, I would like to cover a few housekeeping rules. Everyone should be watching in the listen-only mode, but if you do see a microphone icon on your screen, please be sure to keep yourself on mute. There will be multiple presentations of around 10 minutes each, and then plenty of time for your questions at the end. Your comments and questions are warmly welcomed. You can use the question box to submit your questions at any time throughout the presentation, and we will save all of these until our Q&A session. If for any reason we are not able to answer your questions, do not worry. We will prepare a Q&A document after this webinar and share it with you. Today's webinar is being recorded, and we will share a link with you after the event is complete. There will be a quiz at the end of this webinar where 3 participants have an opportunity to win the Amazon gift vouchers worth 3,500 rupees, 2,500 rupees, and 1,500 rupees each. So today's webinar is powered by Balani Infotech, and the topic of this webinar is success stories in the new normal. In these challenging times, the academic and research libraries have made adjustments to how they function on a daily basis. Speedy recovery, speedy work from home transitions, and major process overhauls are continuing to maintain operations as usual and providing the highest level of service to researchers and students. Some of these success stories have been remarkable to witness, and we would like to hear these stories from our veteran library professionals to learn some best practices from them. So moving on with the agenda, our first guest on the panel is Dr. Sandeep Pathak. Dr. Pathak is presently working as a Deputy Librarian, Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Bhopal, and he has been instrumental in setting up a state-of-art modern library at IISER Bhopal. With 22 years of experience, he served as a mentor librarian for IISER Behrampur and the founding librarian for IIT Mandi. Dr. Pathak has published 68 articles in different journals, national, international conference proceedings, and has also edited 3 conference proceedings. Dr. Pathak is a recipient of many prestigious awards like SLA Asian Library Award 2014, Taylor and Francis Young Librarian Award 2014, MPLA Innovative Librarian Award for 2017, 18, and 19. I would now like to request Dr. Sandeep Pathak to take over the floor. And sir, you can turn on your video also if you wish to. Dr. Pathak, over to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for introducing me. I'm not able to on my video, but it's fine. I think. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to share my slides. Can I? Is my PPT visible?
Yes, sir. Your presentation is visible now.
So very good morning to one and all. And before I start, I wish to thank Team Balani for giving me this opportunity, and also to share my views on given topic. And I also congratulate Team Balani for take initiate on this topic, success stories in new normal, or librarians perspective. Well, because there are many success stories which I'll be sharing with you, and my colleagues panelists are also there. So I think this will really help for the other librarians to know what we have learned during this period. For example, I'll say there is a drastic increase in the usage of subscribed journals, because research never get stopped. Everything was stopped. Library were never closed. Library are always though physically library may not be working, but library resources like e-journals, e-books, e-databases, they are always accessible. So as we know, libraries are working 24 hours, and librarians were doing wonderful job to support our research scholars and faculty community. And let me tell you, because of this, our uh, subscribed e-resources, open access e-resources, and remote login access software, we could able to serve our academic fraternity. And if I give the example, IISER Bhopal, I think our research publications in last 3-4 years, the ratio was quite high. So coming back to my first slide, I was talking about why this actually has come, this new normal. So as we know, early March 20, in the third week of March, all we were asked to close down our institutions, and with the little time to plan, we closed our library facilities also, like example at IISER Bhopal, of course to the protect of safety of our patrons and employees, and then we moved to the online services only, and we started work from home. So thankfully, years of curating digital contents, we could fulfill the academic need of the researchers and requirement as per their need. So some of the predictions, based on the trend analysis of how the landscape of academic libraries is changing, whether in terms of the collection, services, space, and operations. So, like if you talk about collection, then diminishing value of print collections, mass digitization and access versus archives, e-everything, distinctive collection digitization, and copyright a fair use challenge. So this I'll be talking about my coming slides. Then if you come to the services, then we know that this self-service model is now coming up, and virtual alternatives, the rise of the open content, open educational resources. We talked about a lot of open educational resources. There is a DOAB, DOAJ, there is a other initiative taken by MHRD. Those resources are available. So how best we are using of those, Carnegie Mellon, Hathi Trust, there are a lot of resources. So what was happening, we are talking about a lot of these resources, but they were not heavily used. But I have seen in recent past, even the online resources are also heavily used by the researchers, and this credit goes to the librarians because they are doing a wonderful job. They are telling the our academic community through webinars and all. I have seen such a fantastic webinars were held in last few months of time, and they were very beneficial. Even let me tell you that many of the faculty members, research scholars of ours, they are also attending these webinars, and they say they are really useful. And these webinars are not only in library science, they are happening in all subjects, all, and they are so I'll share my experience over here. Like when we used to arrange like generally we organize, being a librarian, we organize on-site webinars. So on-site webinar, you invite, send a mail, then so it is always better to attract more. We have to offer chai, samosa, and also to have more audience who attend this. And generally publisher, they comes once in a year to our campus. But now what is happening in that one, and that time we are organizing webinar, then hardly anybody was attending. But now during this pandemic period, now webinars are very useful. Whatever, like we are organized here, like for example, say around 20 webinars, and every webinar there were more than 300 to 400 research scholars and faculty members. So this is really learned, taught librarians to how to use this technology, how to make use of these resources, and to populate their website, library website, with the rich content. Then we also need to support it for the online teaching to faculty members whenever they need something, some tools, some applications, some analysis. So that was the job of the librarian. And we also supporting the online research. So online teaching and online research. Then library website, of course, is a virtual front door. As I was talking about, that we need to, whatever open access resources, tools, subject wise we have to make. Now we have open access content, subject guides also. Those were really useful. And then one most important, personalization and the promise of the artificial intelligence. So like library website was the, this is the key from where, every researcher can see. So we took this advantage, we populated our library website, whatever resources, and this was a big hit during this pandemic period. Then we also made access to various open access academic resources. So, various publishers, we should thank actually to all the big publishers. They made available their content, even though we are subscribing, but they made available to other institutions also, those who are not subscribing. So that was a very useful thing for academic community. And few of the publishers, I have seen that from 30th June, they were not accessible. Then we requested that, still this period is going on, so kindly continue the access, especially the IP free IP. There is no IP restriction. So they have agreed to our request. So there are various, you see, all big publishers, they have made available their contents. Then there were, e-print archives. So we keep telling, our research scholar use a e-print, they are available. But I have seen during this period, e-prints are heavily used, because recently I had done one study internal, and I found that they have responded. The e-print were, a big success. They are helping e-prints, and it was a big hit. Then again, there is an open textbook libraries. So even in campus community kids, I had told, they are making, because most of the science books are also available. So this open textbook is a library also. What I'm trying to say, I'm not going to tell more about these things, but these were the, heavily used by the research scholars. They are the, made available. And this transition, I was talking about this transition from on-site orientation to online webinar. So like we are now organizing the lot of for Grammarly, Turnitin, in various databases. But if you seen earlier, we are organizing such kind of orientation classes. But now it is taken by the webinars over here. And then AntiPlagiarism Software also, they were accessible remotely. So we know it started this pandemic period in March 3rd week. So that was the time for our BSMS 5th year student to submit the BA project report. So since these softwares were accessible online, so they could able to submit this thing, and then faculty members could review, and library has given the final their similarity on this. So these were the advantage of this. Then we have Instructor Repository also. So initially this was an intranet. So what we did with the we may allowed only to our research scholars and faculty members that if they are out of the campus, by using their official email ID, they can download any this faculty members publication. So we converted from intranet to internet with some restriction. So this also we did, and this is the most one of the most weapon, I will say, during this pandemic period. This was the most urgently required tool, that was a remote login access. As we know, most of the libraries, including IIIT Bhopal, we are spending 90% of our budget to subscribe e-resources. So because we had this remote login access software, so we could serve to our academic community. So like in IIIT Bhopal, whatever resources we are getting, you are dealing with many publishers. These are the publishers IIIT Bhopal is dealing. So all these resources, we could make accessible to our academic community through VPN, virtual private network. This is a remote login access. So this is an open source one, but there are other options also. Like one can go for Easy Proxy, then Open Athens, Ciboloth, and then Infinet is providing, helping the institutions to have this, and then remote access. So what we did also, same time parallelly, we started requesting publishers to remove this IP restriction. So and IP restriction as well as the remote remote login access software. So just by giving the domain name, login password based access. So many of the publishers, they have agreed, and they have given the student and faculty just need to put email ID. So these are the success stories that they were able to access our. Then Grammarly also was accessible, remote login. Then we also developed a library mobile app in last few months. So this was also very useful for the academic community. Now it is available, also available on Google Play Store. Then one more thing I'd like to share with you, Coursera. So actually Coursera, what we did, there are platform like Coursera who was offering this course certificate program to the student. So actually student started requesting us in the month of April, ki sir, we know these are not going to open for another few more months. So can you enroll, IISER Bhopal can enroll with the Coursera, so we can register with the. So what we did, we registered with Coursera, and we are not paying, we registered only for the free courses. But same time when they register, so IISER Bhopal name will be there. So student, feel that certificate, it will be there, IISER Bhopal name. So we registered with Coursera program. Now you see the enrollment. There are number of already more than 1800 enrollments are there. So students are making, and this is the Coursera report. Being administrator, I get this users report. Then I will talk about SOPs. So we prepared standard operating procedures, SOPs. So actually IISER Bhopal is prepared SOP for the complete organization facilities, including libraries, and we had to follow those guidelines strictly. So there were recommendations we made, there was the part of. Then we also using this now this UV light based book sanitizer. So this is very helpful to sanitize the books when the books are being written. So this is we bought one, and then this is of course every day is going on, this sanitizing of the library every day and doing the and one more I'd like to share now, what are the most of the academic students are doing now, they are converting their existing print book collection to ebook form. This is being done in most of the academic institutions at this moment. So as we know, like IIT Bombay and many other institutions, IIT Delhi, they have already announced that next semester will be completely on online mode. Now, next question comes, how to feed them academically? So one way was find out that why not, we convert existing print textbook collection initially, phase 1. So existing textbook collection in e-form. So this exercise is being done most of the institutions, including IISER Bhopal. And this will, when this complete, already we have e-books, many e-books, but now we are doing this systematic print book collection to e-book. So this will be also really helpful for our academic community. So I'll conclude my talk saying that what are the role of the libraries and librarians? It's very important. It's completely changed now, because now whatever resources are available, first our duty to make them available on the website. Second thing, whatever reference tools are there, research support tools, we need to learn ourselves, and then we need to tell our faculty members and students. For example, reference management tools, first we need to learn, and then we need to take webinar for our students, especially for the first year and second year. Plagiarism softwares, we need to tell how they can submit their report. Grammarly, how they can use SciFinder, Web of Science, Scopus, we need to tell them what is H-index, then impact factor, all those things we need to tell them, being a librarian, because they are hesitant to talk to their faculty members, and also being a librarian, we should keep taking this kind of initiative. So as we know, based on like my library experience, the first part, the access to print collection, we know very well, once institute will open, library, physical library importance will be there. The student would love to go through the print books. But at this moment, what librarians are doing, they are also trying whether if print books are available in e-form, that will be really helpful for the faculty member. So I think when we look back on this a year from now, we will find that print collections are still relevant as they were before the pandemic crisis. Not for everyone across all the disciplines, but we will still see these consumers of print, and those still want to have collations. So we should not think that we are changing from this, when libraries are open, libraries are full-fledged working, that same scenario is now. So with these words, I thank you once again, Team Balani, for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Pathak. That was an insightful presentation, and I can see a lot of questions pouring in. So now I would like to hand over the floor to our next speaker, Dr. Basudev Mohanty. Dr. Mohanty is an experienced scientific officer with a demonstrated history of working in research and academic industry, skilled in emerging technologies, digital preservation, databases, bibliometrics, Web 2.0, and Library 2.0. Dr. Mohanty is a strong research professional with a Doctor of Philosophy from Utkal University and published research papers in the domain of library and information science. Currently, he is the librarian and scientific officer at IOP Bhubaneswar. May I request Dr. Mohanty to take over the floor? And sir, if you wish to turn on the video, you can do that for yourself. We have given you the rights.
Whether my screen is shared now?
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very good morning to all the viewers. First of all, I am thankful to the organizer Balani for organizing this webinar. And today's topic, basically the success stories in new normal, a librarian's perspective. In my talk, I will be discussing the genesis of a new normal, best practices adopted by libraries, how well we are prepared, next followed by post-COVID challenges, and then opportunities. Opportunity in terms of freelancing librarians, need for a freelancing site for libraries and library partners, and finally, my conclusion. Friends, after this session, I think there is a quiz competition organized by Balani, but I have a quick fun quiz for all of you, excluding light what spread faster than the rumors. I think for the present scenario, the answer is coronavirus or the COVID-19. The whole world is in the grip of this virus. The pandemic started in December 2019 in Wuhan and crossed borders and oceans, has devastated several countries and spread across the world. The world outside China woke up to the seriousness of this virus. Outbreak in March this year, World Health Organization declared it a pandemic on March, and India imposed lockdown. The first of many, from March 25th, in the subsequent weeks and months, the spread of the virus has been dramatic. We have witnessed many lockdowns, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and unlocks 1.0, and we are at 2.0. Friends, lockdown hurts lives, livelihoods, and economy, while non-COVID problems go unwanted. I will give an example. As of June 23rd, we have tested 73.5 lakh samples, incurring a cost of 735 crores by absorbing 1,000 per sample, but found 4.5 lakh as positive. Could have been done something better way? We are going through a very tough situation, as the entire teaching learning system around the world has been collapsed and facing drastic problems since the couple of months. Students, researchers, faculty, and academics are quite in challenging situation how to carry out teaching and research and academic activities. We librarians, information professionals, trying out different trial and error methods to the teaching learning community by providing scholarly print as well as digital resources. Some extent we have succeeded, but some extent we are not. We stand with our global community to support, and eventually we are quite successful in academic and research libraries. We are quite successful in academic and research library by adopting various virtual means, but hopefully fail in case of our public libraries and school libraries. I will discuss on this later on. Coming to the trust area of the today's seminar, the best practices adopted by the libraries, with our mindset of for a big problem, we need a big solution. Actually, we do the error over here. Example, mask wearing is a simple solution. If practice, It is twice superior to the lockdown. It is twice superior to the lockdown and phase of social economic basis which a lockdown destroys. During lockdowns, we librarians, professional, LIS professional, work from home, enabling virtual services, remote access to our digital resources, linking various partial open access services. Thank you to all the publishers. I think Pathakji already given a list of publishers who have given the open access. Getting connected with our users through email, YouTube, Google, Dropbox, MySpace, Facebook, and Twitter, etc., and tried our best to solve. The process of a phase of unlocking, we can say the new normal. All above virtual services continued, but we started opening up our libraries with different approaches. Almost all the good libraries have already approached different approaches, but I have classified these approaches: basically closure, preparing to reopening, with restrictions and with minimal services. During closure, we work from, I repeat, work from home and with virtual services. When preparing to reopening, we supply of percentage or compulsory face covering, thermal scanning, etc., etc. And basically the government institution circulars, roster duties of the staffs, first in 30%, then by 50%. And also we watched what others are doing, timing of the library, not only the library, staff also in a scattered manner, up ensuring the like Arogya Setu, liberty on borrowed items, we are waiving the fines and all, etc. But while in the next phase is with restrictions, library open with some restrictions, limiting seats at the user, ensuring physical distance, circulation, opaque based renewal reservation, quarantine of books, basically 72 hours, keeping the books for 72 hours on quarantine, and basically digital payment system. The next phase comes on the minimal services. Some libraries has restricted some minimal services like closed access. Users are not allowed to go to the shelves, back to the old days, or we can say the school library concept. Limiting of operation of various sections like odd and even concept. Today, like serial control, tomorrow the technical section, something we are limiting the operation of the sections. Closing the newspaper reading hall, etc. Avoiding committee and staff meeting on online mode, Google Meet, WhatsApp, etc., etc. But the best success we have done here over there, conducting and participating in webinars. Friends, we have conducted successfully 8 webinars under the umbrella of Odisha Library Academy. It is a budding organization at Odisha, and we have all 8 webinars are was a great success with experts from the national and international levels, and we are a very strong core team, team of librarians from near and Bhubaneswar, from almost all the libraries. Next. Now, after this section, we are going to another way. Now we can add innovation. For example, almost all libraries doing some activities, but here it is a time for come to take add innovation to our services. Like for example, I have taken a sample, I have created a sample curbside pickup. Cannot we be able to implement in the library? Innovation in services, curbside pickup, a proposal. You can say it a proposal. Like Walmart doing in the curbside pickup, we can implement. How we can implement? Need a app to integrate with our integrated library management system. Once it is integrated to ILMS, the app is integrated to ILMS support, then we can search the books from the OPAC. Once step 2 is done, we can review and check out. And 4th is the library. Library can send a message, yes, your order is ready. Come to library and check through the app and to collect. Now, already I repeat, already I have told that we have succeeded in basically in academic and research libraries, but we failed in public and the school libraries. Why we failed in case of public library and school libraries? Is it our fault? No. The answer is underdeveloped, non-functional of a public library system or school library system. Lack of infrastructure and professional manpower. For example, out of a 2.45 lakh panchayat, only we have 50,000 panchayat library are the most of them either partially or partially non-functional or partially functional. Even those who are functioning, they don't have library professionals. Listen, friends, I repeat, library cannot be operated by the librarians only. Library can be operated only the librarians only, not by others. Else, the very purpose of the library will be spoiled and it would be create a functional and procedural black hole among the system. It is almost in all the system. I will repeat once again, like you can see in the topmost library, there is a professor in charge in the library, and there is they are not fulfilling, not creating the post of librarians, or they are not recruiting the librarians. I think that should be avoided. I again repeat, library can be operated by the librarians only. We have implemented education to all, but forget about the implementation of information to all. But unfortunately, we have a right to information. There is a provision in our constitution under Article 40, point number 20, 11th schedule, for having library at panchayat level. Basically, I am describing why we fail in public library system and school library. Imagine a situation, just imagine a situation if we could have libraries at each panchayat. We could have around 2.5 lakh COVID fighters or warriors for creating awareness of this pandemic, which was missing in the current fight against Corona, to address the non-COVID-19 problems at the village level. I hope if the awareness program could have been plugged with at the village level with the panchayat team, the spread of this pandemic might have been a different story in India. We along with our library association failed to build pressure. I repeat, basically the national library association at national level failed to build pressure on the government. We all should open a door for deprived citizens who are really seeking for knowledge, as it is their right. We are not begging; it is their right actually. But friends, I am also hopeful in this situation. Digital India is a campaign launched in 2015 by the government of India in order to ensure the government services are made available to citizens electronically by improved online infrastructure. Then it is a very high time to implement information to all in the shape of, you name something, in the shape of a community information center, e-panchayat, panchayat library, digital literacy center, etc., etc. For example, at Odisha, through Odisha Library Academy, we are creating, with taking help of some other associations like OSA, putting pressure on the government for this public library, developing the public library system. And I think there is a recent development is that government of Odisha declared to go for a 1,000 panchayat library across the state. Then we'll quickly go to the next post-COVID challenges. What will be the post-COVID challenges? I think everybody know that after this COVID, once we get the vaccine, I think this COVID, we are now at the peak of this pandemic. Once it is over, what will be the challenges? Global economic recession, caution investment, accessibility versus affordability, increased demand of only affordable products and services in terms of resources and tools, more emphasis on consortia-based products, prioritizing library requirement in terms of products and services, emphasis on open access-based products rather than proprietary-based, reduction in institutional spending, library spending. Basically, we know whenever they cut for basically library budget depends on the institution. When there is a cut in the institutional spending, definitely it will affect to our library. Drive for synergies and cooperation. There will be a need for the drive for synergies and cooperation, national, international collaboration, and networking for resource sharing. Synergy of operating stakeholders. Who are the operating sisters? First is definitely the knowledge creators, educational R&D institution, and freelancers. Freelancer, I'll come to next slide. Knowledge transformation channels, industry and entrepreneurs. Promotional sources like funding agencies. Fourth is enablers or facilitator provide government and its structural like legal system. Thrust of innovation. I have kept intentionally thrust for innovation in the challenges, but I'll discuss thrust for innovation in the in my next slide. Basically, the opportunities. What will be the opportunities? Yeah, according Rabindranath Tagore has said, if I cannot make it through one door, I'll go through another door, or I'll make a door. Something terrific will come to matter how dark the present is. Then that's why there is a thrust for innovation everywhere. I am giving an example. Tata is closely monitoring its client behaviors and identifying new priorities and accordingly innovating new servicing models, shifting towards healthcare or something like that. That means there is a need for innovation everywhere. That this is the opportunity. What will going to happen? Reconfiguring R&D and resources, remodeling of educational system. Once that, if the educational system will be remodeling, definitely it will affect to our libraries. So we have to club the library system according to the situation. Digital connectivity in new learning and training system, knowledge sharing models, resource acquisition, business and funding models for quick and easy agile operations, sustainable and balanced resource sharing, open access and OER, content creators' responsibility on social obligations. The second important opportunity will come for the demand on information specialists. I repeat, demand on information specialty, because exploiting the state of the art on knowledge, data source storage, sharing models, digital libraries, research development, educational information system to support researcher and academic community with a agile documentation and smart dissemination in the framework of a IPR. Research output evaluation using all type of metrics indicators, starting from bibliometrics to webometrics and altmetrics. Ensuring academic research integrity of the institution. This is also very, very important. We have to protect IPR. We have to prevent plagiarism. We have to pursue integrity. Acting in accordance with the publishing industry's transformation towards digital literacy. Dealing with the regulatory agencies, bureaucratic layer, both at national and international, for getting clearance for IPR and patent related issues. Another, you can see this from my screen. I already told opportunities everywhere. Like for a tea, in tea stall, they can, like we need kadha this time. You can see in the market also, you can see the kadha tea. Similarly, you can see in hot summer in Delhi, we used to take a cold and chilled drinking water with at the rate of ₹5 or 10. Sometime in that innovation also. I am just giving some example how innovation can everywhere. You can find some your ₹5 mein haath dhoiye, something like that. Even I support the vocal for local. Cholo, Atmanirbhar Bharat banayenge. Empty shelf. You can see during the starting of the COVID pandemic, you can see in any store you will find the racks are empty, like toilet paper and hand sanitizer. Similarly, this is you will find once this open that the bookshelves, books on leadership, books on public health, the racks may be emptied. Why I am showing this thing? I think that we need to trust innovation everywhere, and the most important is franchise business, opportunity for code. These are the most important, and we need to practice it. I have time. How much time I have? Hello? Is it audible? Hello? Is it audible? How much?
Yes, sir, you are very much audible.
How much time I have right now? Hello.
Yes, sir, you can go ahead, sir. You can take five more minutes.
Okay. Thank you.
You can take 2 more.
Sorry. Okay. This is another opportunity. This is another opportunity in freelancing. I think I will not go on details of the freelancing. You can Google it. You can find what is freelancing. But freelancing is someone who performs tasks usually for multiple employees. I will give an example, like Draupadi, in Mahabharata, Draupadi have five husbands. Similarly, we could have multiple employer over there. May work for part-time or full-time. Easiest, fastest, and lowest cost way to start working for self. According to pioneers, the average freelance works around 40 hours per week at the cost of $20 per hour. Approximately the monthly gross salary is $3,000, and in Indian rupees is coming around to 2 lakh, which is significantly higher than the average non-freelance wages in most of the countries. Understanding freelance job market going very fast. 47% of freelancers are millennial. 35% American freelance in 2018, while they started in 2013, only 7% are there looking for work. You can get the work different, like this is a survey data. Online marketplace 73%. You can go. I'm just skipping this one. Freelancing offering emerging opportunity. Training for career advancements. For doing the freelancing, you need at least 33%. 30% computer skill, 29% networking, 27% business skill, 26% marketing skill, 24% ability to find work. Freelancing acceptance trend, it is growing very, very fast. Acceptance of remote work by business and individual. 50% of the organization increased use of the freelance workers in the last 5 years. 20% of the large organization, I mean having more than 1,000 employees, use 30% of the remote workers. 50% of US jobs are compatible with remote work. Freelancer juggle multiple projects. Freelance have multiple skills. 61% freelancers 2 to 3 skill sets, and 30% having more than 3, and 5% having 1 skill set. More business will use freelancer work. 25% of global businesses are predicted to have 30% remote work by 2020. I think now this according to the current situation, I think this will increase also. Globalization and freelancing. Freelancers view globalization as an opportunity for expansion around 70%, 71%. What freelancer wants? A strong community and a more chances to collaborate. Streamline business operations and more available resources, 50%. More opportunity to work remotely, 48%. Better protection of freelancer right, 41%. Hence, there is a lot of things. You can Google it and you can find so many. But I will just come to why I have come to the freelancing. So there are top freelancing sites are there, like for example, Freelancer, Upwork, Freelancer, People Per Hour, 99 Design, TOEFL, Work and Hire, and many more. There are the top freelancing sites. I'm just skipping this site. Then I'll come to the Freelancing Librarian. Quickly, many people undermine the librarians as people having no real skills. In freelance community, people are willing to hire librarians processing certain skills. I'll just information curation. What are the skills required? Information curation, good research skills, digital preservations, leadership, enforcing disciplines, and friendliness. Freelance librarian work opportunity. And basically, you can work as a full-time librarian, or also you can work as a freelancer. The main concern is you should continue looking for opportunity and not wait for them to come to you. Actually, if you wish to increase your chances, you should take an active part in various forums and meet up organized regularly for freelancers. Go there, talk to people, build up connections, and you will notice marked increase on available opportunity. The pay scale varies, depends upon the many factors: experience, education, qualification, and connections. If you starting a phase, you will have hard time to find a well-paying job, but with a strong connection or good experience, you will able to work in well-paying organization. And opportunity, already I have told, there is a lot of opportunity, too many opportunities. In order to ensure greater and better access to the work opportunity, I highly recommended that you can create a profile on popular freelance websites functioning in the virtual space. The online freelance community is the biggest professional community and offers amazing work opportunity. There are few websites that allow quantitative exchange between clients and freelancers. All you need to do is to create an informative and formal profile account on these websites, carefully identify your skills and apply to positions. Regular follow-up in the mandatory. While submitting applications, make sure your attention is proposal. Another way to increase the work opportunities is by undergoing training. In case you are starting fresh, you should undergo internship under the guidance of a well-established librarian. Under the librarian, well-established librarian, gather work papers and add the same to your portfolio. Then what is missing? What is missing for freelance librarians? Here, need of a freelancing site for dedicated site for libraries and librarians. Already I have told these are the freelancing in common, but there is a need of a freelancing site for librarians and or library partners. I appeal to the publishers, all the publishers, ACA people over here, international association, aggregators to come forward, to come with a such platform dedicated to stakeholders. We may name it as a library, Freelancer or something else. That depends upon you. At this platform, I request Balani Group to start a pilot project in India. We are here to help you, sir. I am coming to my conclusion part. The pandemic has brought unprecedented change in the way people live and work. The current scenario is also a learning opportunity across all sectors and also to our profession also. The librarians should be vigilant, identify all possible opportunities, and accordingly to be prepared for new innovations. In short, need to adapt to the situation by innovating new service models, closely monitor the changes user behavior and requirements, identifying new priorities, scaling up new digital initiatives, and to look to unlock synergies in cost-effective as well as sustainable manner. Identify new areas of research, exploit various operative models, and set up knowledge supply chain. Set up a knowledge supply chain channels in an economic and sustainable way. Knowledge and data sharing nodes, including repositories and digital libraries, with effective use of artificial intelligence systems and social networking platforms. Making library associations, international, national, as well as state, more vibrant to make the necessary changes in the national and international policy. Last but not least, I request to the policymaker, let the library to be operated by the librarians only, not by others. Trust the librarian, they will do the entire academic and research community. Thank you all. Over to Balani Group.
Thank you, Dr. Mohanty. And there are so many practical tips for our audience today to take away. So thank you for this comprehensive presentation. And now I would like to request our next guest to start his presentation. Our next guest is Dr. Neeraj Chaurasia. Dr. Chaurasia is working as an assistant librarian at Central Library, Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi, since March 2007. Presently, he is heading the Reader Services Division of Central Library, IIT Delhi. He is actively associated with activities of Index Consortium, RFID implementation, and other automation-related activities at Central Library, IIT Delhi. He is one of the editorial board members of 3 reputed international and national journals of library and information science. He is also active member of important professional societies of India and abroad. His area of interest include library networks, RFID implementation, e-resources, consortia management, e-books and digitization, and other automated related activities in library. May I request Dr. Chaurasia to take over the floor now? And sir, I would also like to mention that we are slightly off our time schedule. So I would request you to stick to the timeline of 10 minutes. Sir. Over to you, Dr. Chaurasia.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Is my slide is visible?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Yeah. Okay. Am I audible correctly? Right?
Perfectly, sir.
Yeah, sure. So a very good morning to all of you who has joined this session today. And thanks for the organizers for giving me this opportunity to share my experience or thoughts on the given topic. So since we have already opened our library, so I would just like to share some of the services or resources which we are providing to our users. And most of the points have already been covered by the fellow speakers. So I will try to finish my presentation within the given time of 10 minutes. So I will start my presentation with this quote of Charles Darwin. He says that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent, but rather the one most adaptable to change. So this is said by the Charles Darwin. So friends, this is the time when this major change or big change have been occurred due to this pandemic. So we all need to accommodate ourselves according to this situation. So friends, what is the impact of COVID-19 on the world? You see, all of a sudden, the world has changed forever. Our lifestyles, practices, processes, preferences, perceptions, perspectives, all are changed due to this COVID-19. In a highly connected world, we are made to live in a totally disconnected manner. We need to follow some of the norms during this COVID period, like it may be social distancing, I should say this physical distancing, to break the chain of virus, isolation, stay home, stay safe, hand washing, personal hygiene, soap, sanitizers, masks, PPE, and so on. So we need to adopt all these norms in our daily life. So all sectors are badly affected due to this pandemic, including the libraries. So friends, what is the impact of COVID-19 on the libraries? To say overall situation, COVID-19 blindsided the academic libraries in the world. Libraries were either restricted their services or completely closed due to this pandemic. Libraries around the world are facing hard choices around which services they should offer to their patrons and what should be the how they should offer these services to the users. The last couple of weeks, libraries have been marked by the settling down of new normal. More library staff being redeployed to discover the more on the electronic services, or you can say the online resources or online services. So most staff is being deployed on such kind of services. If you talk about the situation in India, libraries were completely closed. Now most of the academic institutions in India are slowly libraries are slowly opening. Although the academic institutions are closed up to 31st July as the directives from the MHRD, but some of the libraries they are planning to reopen, but with the restrictions and services and facilities. They have a lot of restrictions. With the reopening of libraries, they are facing a paradigm shift in the libraries. Instead of returning to normal, libraries are returning to new normal. Okay, so this is the situation. In-person service interaction may no longer preferred. So access to physical material may be a barrier for this new normal. And how we can leverage this crisis to create new and innovative library collection and services, the users, this will be one of the big challenge for the librarians. So friends, what are the norms for reopening the libraries or libraries in new normal? There are general kind of norms like first thing is our main challenge is to keep our library staff safe. How we can save our library staff? This is the big challenge. We need to manage the library staff with limited number of staff as per the order from the Government of India or our institution, and need to follow all the norms or all the instructions which are given by the Ministry of Human Resource Development or Ministry of Home Affairs, and we need to follow all the measures which are given by such kind of authorities. One of the important norm is the disinfection or cleanliness of space and promoting the hygiene. This is the very important while we are opening the libraries in new normal, and installation of Arogya Setu, you can say, and we need to encourage our users to use online services as far as possible. And book stack area is generally closed in most of the, it is under the closed access. It is not closed, it is under the closed access in majority of libraries which are opening in new normals. And they are limited to limited number of users are permitted in the libraries. They are not permitted the complete whole kind of users which are there, but they are permitting the users, very limited number of users, and they need to follow some of the quarantine period for the library returns or material which is returning. So these are some of the norms which need to follow. Now coming to the new normal for IIT Delhi, some of the glimpse, I will just share the things. As far as IIT Delhi library is concerned, our library team is providing the seamless access of resources, services, and the facilities. They have already provided this lockdown, as well as we are providing currently during this new normal. So with the little time to plan, we closed our library in last week of March to protect and safety of staff and move to online services only and work from home. But there was no discontinuation of services. We were providing all kind of services. We all officers and the staff members, they were providing the services which were required by the faculty members or the students. Currently we have opened the library since 11th May. We have opened the library and we are starting the all kind of services in the library. Most of the faculty members, they are staying in the campus. So we are providing all kind of services to them. Still there is no student in the campus, but there are lot of faculty members. They are coming to the library for issuing or returning the books. So we are providing such kind of facilities to them. So you see, the academics and research are badly impacted due to this COVID-19, and there are a number of research scholars, they are not able to submit their PhD thesis because they need lab work. Without lab work, they cannot submit the thesis. So that kind of issues are coming in the way. So as far as IIT Delhi is concerned, here are some of the glimpses which I would like to share. Like, first thing we did is our library team prepared the SOPs for opening the library, how we can open the library new normal. We follow the standard office timing from like 8:45 to 5:30, and we are closed on Saturdays and holidays. And as per the government guidelines, or as per the guidelines from IIT Delhi, we are coming the 100% or 50%. There is librarian and deputy librarian, they need to come every day, and from the assistant librarian up to the lower staff, they are coming as per the duty roster with 50%. So we are following all the norms which are issued time to time by the institute as well as from the authorities. And since there is no student, but in future, whenever students are coming, we will be allowing the student as per the directives from the authority, and very limited number of users. But it will be time to time, it will be reviewed, and if required, it may be increased also. So Bookstack area is under closed access, but we are providing services to our users. We are issuing the books. We are giving, our staff is taking out the books from the shelf, and we are issuing the books and giving to them. And as far as returning is concerned, they are dropping the book in RFID drop box, and we are following the quarantine guidelines for the books. It may be 24 hours to 72 hours. And as per policy, we have taken the decision in the library that overdue fine will be suspended for the period of COVID, or until the institute is open. So these are some of the things, like we are also allowing the renewal of books, and interlibrary loan facility is very important. We are providing this facility to the users as and when the request is coming. Next one is thesis submission and nodules. We are also providing this facility to the users because there is online Viva is going on in the institute. So whenever a student is coming for submission of thesis, we are doing this thing, and we are issuing the nodules. They are just sending an email, the online thesis, we are checking and issuing them nodules. We have also decided that we will use the book recommendation system as far as a preference, and preference will be given for the online versus the print books. And we are trying to strengthen our access management system to provide the seamless access for electronic resources. So these are some of the things which we are doing. Apart from that, we have tried to enhance the usage of the resources because we linked all these resources on our library website, or through the library OPEC. We have linked all the resources. Our computer application division is doing a great job to update all kind of such kind of information on timely manner on the pertaining to electronic resources and other things. So this is the great job which help a lot to our fraternity. Now coming to the remote access facilities of electronic resources, this is the remote access facilities playing a crucial role during this new normal as well as in the lockdown period. So what was happening initially, we were having this VPN, we are having VPN services in our campus, but there are some of the limitations of VPN. So we try to implement the Ceboleth-based infrared system in our library. So with the help and support from the Internet Center in Gandhinagar, our computer service center at IIT Delhi, and the computer application division of IIT Delhi and team IIT Delhi, we implemented this Ceboleth-based infrared system, which really helped a lot. And we have integrated all the resources, most of the resources actually, because there are some of the limitations, because some of the resources could not be integrated or in this feed because of some of the limitations. So we tried to provide the access for these resources through the UID password based access is provided by the publisher. So some of the publishers, they are providing the access through the magic words like Springer, Nature, and in case of Sci-Fi and Scholar, they have removed the restrictions for IP for IIT Delhi at least. So it is we are very thankful all these publisher and subscription agencies for their kind support. They are very helpful during this lockdown period as well as in new normal. So these are some of the things like the InFeed is a very important system which is from the Internet Center, because it adopted the Shibboleth based system. This is an open source system which authenticate and authorize the user from the institution and provide seamless access of resources. So this is regarding the remote access facilities which we are providing to our users. And this is the screenshots which I have taken from our IIT Delhi website. And this website is idp.ac.itt.ac.in. So we have integrated all such kind of resources. This library mobile app or a single window search also plays a very important role, because user can search all the resources. We are subscribing more than 70-75 resources. All are integrated with this system, so they can access using the single window search. Now coming to the research support and academic writing tools, all our team is working on this research, providing the research support and academic and facility of academic writing tools. It may be the Grammarly, it may be sometime help to solve the queries related to Turnitin, Scopus, Web of Science. These are services are provided by all our officers and the librarian itself. So it's a very very important service which is provided to the users, and also the reference service and chat services. We are providing the we are giving the response within no time whenever any query is coming to us for any kind of query is coming to us. Now, online resources which are freely provided by the publishers is also playing a very important role, because these are the resources which are not subscribed by the library sometime, and they are providing free resources related to COVID as well. So these are helping a lot to the researchers or the faculty members who are involved in the research related to COVID. So the resources which are listed by the ESS, we have tried to classify the resources. Apart from that, the individual publishers like American Institute of Physics, Citation, they provided some of the resources other than resources which are we are subscribing. So they are helping a lot. The publishers are helping a lot, providing the free resources. This Xavier has also been created this Novel Coronavirus Information Centers. This is also very helpful to the users, to the fraternity of IIT Delhi. Similarly, the free resources, open access resources are available in public domain. They are also playing a very important role, because some of the resources which are not available either from the publishers or not subscribed, they can access number of things freely available on the websites on public domain. So now coming to the webinars on e-resources and publishing workshops are being organized by the team IIT Delhi. Some of the publishing workshops are organized by the collection development division, and for the webinars related to electronic resources, we are also trying to organize such kind of webinars, because we are subscribing number of resources. So this is the time when we can reach to the users, we can reach to our fraternity to provide good services. So now coming to next, there are a number of things which I could include, but because of time paucity, I'm not going to discuss much things. But these are the changes and challenges in my opinion in new normal. So collection, services, space, and operations. These are the 4 areas where we need to work hard as a librarian, because these are going to change completely. So we need to change according to the requirement of the users. So in my final slide, I would like to acknowledge all the resources from where I've taken the data or the information, and especially I would like to thanks to my whole team of IIT Delhi, especially Dr. Nabi Hassan, who is the librarian, Dr. Shankar Chauhan, Dr. Vijay Verma, Dr. Banita Khanchandani, and all staff members of IIT Delhi. They are really doing a great job in providing the great services to our community at IIT Delhi. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share some of my views on the topic which is given by the organizers. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Chaurasia, for enlightening us with your presentation. I must say it was very crisp and excellent. And now moving on to the next speaker. Our next speaker is Dr. Utpal Das. He is a university library in charge at University of Dibrugarh. He's responsible for making decisions for growth and development of the organization and The research of old and rare manuscript conservation and digitization has been an important part of his profile. He has more than 20 years of experience as a library information professional and has been a part of several projects at the university, like Dibrugarh University Institutional Repository, using DSpace, conservation of ancient manuscripts of Assam, and survey documentation of ancient manuscripts of Assam. Dr. Das, to his credit, has more than 38 publications of local and international level so far, and he has accomplished 19 invited lectures of local and national level. May I request Dr. Das to take over the floor now and share his views with us?
Thank you.
Dr. Das?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, but I cannot see your presentation, Dr. Das.
Yes, I'll just share it again. Let me see. Can you see now? Is
Not
it there?
yet, sir.
Okay, let me see.
Yes.
Perhaps you can see it now.
Now we can see the presentation, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And sir, before you start, I would like to request you to stick to the 10 minutes timeline, sir.
Okay, I'll just try. I'll just to be basic from my own side, because my perspective would be only my own experience in my library. So I'm not going to speak much about anything other than that, because that is what I have perceived from this period of COVID. So before that, I would like to thank Balani for giving me an opportunity for providing this my experience with you. To start with, we know that that new normal has been there, and when we talk about new normal, then basically it is some sort of good habits we develop, and which actually bring to us with some massive disruption in the society. Like as you know, yeah. Now, when you talk about disruption and acquiring new cultural habit, that there are some certain there are entire all sectors has been touched by this disruption: healthcare system, education, economy, business, commerce, tourism, etc. So however, one aspect of life has become common to everyone in this disruption: the safeguard against the virus inside home, or when you go out of the home. So when you talk about safeguarding ourselves, that common good practices are there to that standardized common good practices that we have to follow. Now, a lot more emphasis on the hygiene. When you talk about hygiene, all sort of standardized act we have to do in this during this period: the use of masks, using hand sanitizer, using washing hands frequently, washing clothes, etc. When you go out, and you take bath more than once, many a times when you go out. Another aspect is social distancing, then stay home as much as possible, and work from home. That has become the new normal. These are the habits for the world citizen for survival these days. One of my friend many days ago, actually before the coronavirus, we were discussing about some sort of medical issues. Then he told me that this 21st century is the self-survivability. Now, when Corona comes up, I got to know that how much this self-survivability is in act now. So implementing new normal in academic libraries, being a library, I see it. A library is a community place basically. So all different categories of users will be using the library. So this new habits, along with the new habits, and that bringing to the library in a community place, that has become a challenge. So physical presence as a library, as it is a library and a community place. So physical presence of people is inevitable, or it's a normal fact, normal case. So when in a normal days, I have some slides from my own library. So in a normal days, I can see whole lot of people who visit library for different purposes, for reading, recreation, and for discussion. And then there are some specialized services we provide in the library. Then awareness programs and conferences and workshops that we do. So whole lot of people used to come to the library, and there meets children visit of the children in the library, because we have an induction program of the children in the library with the books and all. And so this sort of whole lot of programs are there. There are visitors for various occasions. Visitors come to visit the libraries and all. So there are also some library accession activities where this library, the Gregorian Library, participate. So a whole lot of things are there, and these activities are basically to use the resources we provide in our library. So we have textbook as other libraries, more than 2 lakhs, and then there are online resources. There are print resources. There are also some sort of e-tools that for accessing information. So these other resources is meant for use by this whole lot of community or the different sectors, segment of the people that visit library. Now, during in a lockdown, when unlock process started, unlock phase started, the library become like this. Not a single people visited library. Only there are 2-3 research scholars, they have visited the library. So it becomes mere empty. The entire library is empty. So we have a bird's eye view from the a drone also. This is the campus, the library campus. When once upon a time there are a lot of people visit the library. There's lots of gatherings in and around the library, in the library garden, inside the library, outside the library, but not a single people you can see. You see the entire campus. This is the entire campus during unlock phase 1, and this period there are almost nobody in the street. So this sort of situation, from the librarian's perspective, there is 2 major challenges arises in this new normal. When we go through this experience, there are two factors basically, 2 challenges basically it comes to me. That is safety of the staff and users during the physical transaction, and maximization of the utility of the library resources. Because the entire unlock phase till date, we have kept library open, and as there is lack of physical transaction, physical access of the resources in the library, so we have to maximize the online access of the resources. So these 2 basically big challenge for us. Now when we talk about safety of the users in the physical transaction, because people is to come, research scholars to come, we have kept this library open for the research scholar and the faculty members in and around who are they are in the campus. Now, when you talk about safety of the users, because that is the first thing that we have to protect our staff and the users basically. So curbside dropping of the return books or newly supplied books or documents that's come, and quarantining the items at least for 72 hours, which are returned or also newly procured. The converting all face-to-face library services into social distancing mode, and compulsory use of masks while meeting and talking people inside the library. Washing hands and using sanitizers, as you know, these are the compulsory habits that has to be acquired, and that has been acquired in the library. Limiting physical services to the minimum possible extent. Then provide all updates and information to users both online and print. Whatever the things are going on, those sort of information has to reach the users. Basically, these are the safety measures that we take. Now, when you talk about curbside dropping of all return books, that we do not basically take it by hand. We put it somewhere in a remote location where this dropping has been made. Now, when I know we have developed a quarantine zone. When in the quarantine zone, when packets come or new arrivals comes, those have been kept in the quarantine zone, so that, and for the at least for the 72 hours, so that we minimize the risks of infection or risking ourselves with the virus if it is there anyway. Then converting all the face-to-face library services into social distancing mode. Now, when we in a check gate, when you make entry of the users, that we basically keep a distance. Now, in the reading space, you see there are a lot of distance has been kept for the readers, and the sitting arrangement also has been made like that way that only one person can sit in a keeping some at least 6 feet distance. And issue return, when you do issue return also, the same thing we are having that social distancing mode. So these are the transactions, and use of sanitizer while entering the library. That is a common thing that has become a common new normal for the library. So that is done. And then some limiting physical services, those services which we feel that it is not important at this moment, or also to avoid the risks of having this COVID-19 and all. So those sections, those services has been closed completely. And then limiting the timing also, library timings. As you see, we basically our library remains open from 9:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening in all regular days, and including Saturdays and Sundays. But that has been that extended period has been completely stopped now. That is from 5:30 to 9 p.m. There's no library, including Sunday and Saturday. We keep library we keep libraries closed during that period. Only from 9:30 to 5 p.m. The library is open. That too in a phase, shifting manner. That means there are 50% of the staff they come and 50% doesn't come. They come in an alternative day. So that way we are limiting the physical services also with the library, and providing all sort of updates, notification, current news to the users who come to the library, and also to spread this sort of information to the fellow colleagues, so that the services which are being provided physically and which have been provided online, those can be reach to the users. So we also in the website also we have provided that information, the notification, etc. So this sort of notification has been kept outside in everywhere. It is also in the website, so that they come to know what other services we are providing to them. Now now when you talk about maximum utility of the library resources, then we see what sort of measures we have taken. Basically the revamping of the library portal and website, we have done it to accommodate new features with the new tools, because previously it is so sudden that there were some shortcomings in the website, and those shortcomings have been removed, and we have remodified the website. Then enhancing visibility of the web OPEC. Then providing access to open access resources to the maximum extent. Remote access is the existing remote access to the existing e-resources, subscribed e-resources, the 24/7, and also the resources which are open access resources. Those has been basically we are giving maximum stand on that, because you see, as a state university, financially we are not that much of strong. So whatever the resources we have, we want to put it in maximum use. So procurement of new resources, also that planning has been done already. Some orders have been made, so that the lacking of the e-resources can be mitigated for the resource, for the users. The digital transformation of the print content is also in offering. So developing or enhancing institutional repository. We are already having institutional repository, but we are not, during this period, we'll be, making it functional. The community users through social media like Facebook, WhatsApp, blog, email, etc. Now you can't imagine last 3 months, last 90 days, I have been in constant touch with the faculty members and the research scholars and any other students through mail, through phones, etc. So that whatever the problems they face, I try to mitigate with them. We have a team for that. So team is working day and night with them. And also we are opening a helpline or Ask the Librarian in our library. So this is what the measures we have taken to utilize our resources. Now, if we go for practically to see the library website, a little bit of, I just want to give you hints of this. So these are the, if you see in the free online resources from UGC MHRD portals, these are the free resources that initiative has been taken by the government or Implementation Center or MHRD. So this has been quite effective for them for the students. From here directly they can access those resources or the course content for the PG and undergraduate students. Now we have also given remote access through Easy Proxy. Now to the subscribed resources when as you know that we have a limited resources because we cannot go on purchasing all the resources for our community. But whatever the resources we have, minimum resources we have, we try to provide these resources. So these are the resources from the Implementation Center, and then also we have some resources from from consortia. So from consortia also we have resources. So those can be accessed through remote. Then also we have sales research method for the researchers and elsewhere. These are the resources we have procured. Now basically, if you go again, this one, if you again this website, then you see we have also given some e-resources which are freely available. Top global publishers with open access resources they have providing. So from the Cambridge University, Science and Direct, of Springer Open Journal, Oxford Open, and Taylor and Francis. These are the free resources, free journals. Those are very helpful for the students. So other research scholars, we have given option, access point from here itself. Then also we have given, online catalog directories from the website itself. From here, they can go for, directories open access, directories open access journals, then INCAT, then OCLC, all sort of things they can go. And also we have given access point for the thesis and dissertations, global thesis and dissertations, and also Indian thesis, Surganga can be, accessed from here itself. Then Scopus, research method. These are tools we have procured. These are, remote access. Remote access has been, they can search it through remotely, and sales research method for the researcher. We have given access point for them, so they can go directly from here. Also, we have web OPEC from here itself. They can search the content remotely from any places. We have also, digital library, that is an Instructor Repository, in-case services, e-source into Sotgonga, whatever it is. We have whatever the possible things we can make. We have given this access to them. Now, yeah. Hello. Okay. Then these are the things we have actually provided to them. But you see the two big proposals we have already provided for this to mitigate the COVID-19 situations. That is procurement of e-books from 1.6 lakhs numbers of e-books, and also other resources, and also transforming the digital content, basically some print book, and also the thesis and dissertations that we will be transforming very soon, and so that this can be available for the users. Now, in the conclusion, I can say that there are three issues basically I have faced over here. Whether digital adoption is all we need and solve the problem, especially in our part of the world, because economically our communication through communication. So we are in a very remote area where it becomes from internet, digital aspect. It's a very not very serviceable, or not very prominent. Then second issues I can see, can you resolve the weakness and completeness of the digital infrastructure, because the digital infrastructure we have, and the digital the internet facilities, like right from speed of the internet and the internet in the remote access in remote hilly areas, those are actually issues here in the Northeast. And the global information sharing during the pandemic, can it be permanent? Because during this pandemic we have seen that many top global publishers, they have given free access to their resources. Whether some of this thing can be permanently given to the community, users community, because of this pandemic and all, that has remained issues. And if it is then it would be beneficial for the entire community and also for the community of the Northeast. I feel that is the thing I wanted to talk during this small period of time. There are a lot of things to speak, but as there is a time constraint, so I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk in front of you. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Das, for sharing your view with us. And I must say that that was an excellent presentation. And I can see a lot of interesting questions that are coming in from our audience. We will take all those questions, but we have one last presentation, which is from my side. And I would say that Dr. Das's presentation perfectly leads into mine, wherein I'm going to tell about the publisher's perspective, since I'm representing the publisher community over here. So I'm going to talk about how publishers are supporting research and facilitating research in academic institutions in the new normal. So let me just put my slides on. Yeah. So before I start, I would like to refer back to Dr. Mohanty's presentation, where he talked about that this is the time of opportunities. And I clearly second his view, because I also believe that it's better to look at this difficult time uh, at this difficult time, but not just with a, with a view and take it as a new normal only, because I think it is a time for new possibilities as well. And as a publisher, we are trying to explore new opportunities to connect with our audiences and with our customers. So first of all, I would like to tell about a little bit about the organization, what we do. So ACS Publications, as the name suggests, we are American Chemical Society, and it is the world's largest scientific society with more than 150,000 members in 140 countries. We have two subdivisions, which is CAS, to give you a brand recall, which is Chemical Abstract Services, and we have our product called SciFinder, which is the world's largest chemistry research and discovery application. And on the other hand, we have ACS Publications, wherein we have 60 state-of-art chemistry related journals with very high impact factors. And ACS Publication is a global leader with rapid growth in Asia. So last year we received 156 million article requests, 51 million came in from China. And if I talk about the other key players from Asia, that are India and Japan, then we also got followed by China. We had 36 million requests from USA and 28 million from Europe. Like I said, when it comes to citations and impact factors, we defeat some of the publishing giants, biggest publishing giants in the industry in core chemistry journals. So you can clearly see how high our impact factors are. Now, moving on to the actual topic, which is how ACS is supporting the research community in this new normal. So when the lockdown started, when the pandemic lockdown started, we realized that ACS as an organization, we have to expand our outreach to our customers to provide them an uninterrupted access to the content. We started with the federated access, wherein the institutions had to register for it, and once you register for it, all the users in your institution can simply go to the website and access the entire content, the customer holding that your institution has, and they would be able to access the full text content on the website. In this federated access, you can also pair your devices. So if you have your personal laptops, your mobile phones, you can pair it with our ACS Pub's website, and you would get access to the entire content, the full text access to the content that your institution is subscribing to. Apart from that, we also did our integration with Google. So usually the researchers, the early career researchers, if they have to search the content, they would go on Google Scholar, or they would just simply go to Google search and type in the keywords to find the results. So if you find an ACS article over there, which has been subscribed by your institution, the Google would also mention that you have full text access to this article, and it would show you on the site that the link acs.org. Now, ACS Publishing Center. So this is an online platform, and the link is also mentioned over here. So on this online platform, you can find the tricks and tips of the trade. So if you want to prepare a manuscript, you want to submit a manuscript, you want to learn more about the research and open access, learn about the peer review process, or how does the reviewing process take place in ACS, or you want to know the publishing policies, you can simply go to the platform. The link is mentioned here, and you would be able to gather all the information. Then we have ACS Information Info Central, which is a resource for institutional subscribers. So on this platform, the link is mentioned here. What you can find is all your customer holdings are listed over here, your journals, ebooks, CNN, research tools that we have. You can find information for open access, mark records in case you want to find out your usage reports, you can do that. And in case you need any help, then we have that option also available over here. Next is the ACS Guide to Scholarly Communication. This is the latest addition to the bouquet of solutions that ACS has. So this is a one-stop solution for researchers, and it can help you. It's a style guide. I know the concept is not very popular in India at the moment, but we have come up with this style guide, which can help you in the entire research cycle. So starting from the writing of paper to publishing it in the with the publishers and filing patents, all the information is available here on this platform, on this tool. So you can always access this platform. And we recently did a webinar in India for this guide, which was conducted by the editors of this guide, and we had an overwhelming response from the research community, with more than 2,600 researchers attending the webinar. We have an India-specific initiative that we have started, which is ACS Science Talk virtual lecture series, and this is very India-specific. So we pick up top researchers from India, and we ask them to give a scientific talk. And the next session is scheduled on 10 July, which is tomorrow. So in case you want to register, you can register for it, and the link is mentioned over here. And I would request you to ask researchers at your institution also to visit the website and register for our upcoming webinars. Last but not the least is the ACS on Campus. It is the flagship event of or the flagship initiative of ACS. This year we have planned to go off campus. That is, we have made it a virtual event because of the pandemic. And in this event, what we do is we get some of the chemistry stalwarts to your institution, and they tell you about how to publish and give lectures on peer reviewing and publishing ethics. This time we have on board for India ACS on Campus editor-in-chief of Langmuir and editor-in-chief of the Journal of Physical Chemistry. The ACS on Campus India is supposed to take place on 10th of August 2020. We are in the process of preparing the registration page. Once it's done, we will share it with you. So these are some of the initiatives that we have taken as a publisher to facilitate research in the academic institutions. In case you have any suggestions for us that we can do to further enhance your research experience, so please get in touch with us and please give us your suggestions in the comment box. Thank you. So now I think it's time that we can dive into the questions from the audience. As a reminder, I would like to tell you that if you have questions that you have not yet submitted, please enter in the Q&A chat box, and we'll get through as many questions as the time allows. So I'll start with the questions. So I think the first question that I have is for Dr. Neeraj Chaurasia. Dr. Chaurasia, are you there?
Yes, I am here. I am here.
All right. So, Dr. Chaurasia, I've received this question from the audience that what are the challenges faced by IIIT Delhi while implementing the remote access facility at IIIT Delhi?
Yeah, Manish, as I told in my presentation that we are also having this VPN facility in IIT Delhi, but there were some of the limitations of VPN. So our team has decided to go for some of the remote access tools. So since time was not there and we need to implement it immediately, so we decided to go for InFeed. And InFeed is a very good system, but some of the limitations are like we could not integrate all the resources because all are not having compatibility with Shibboleth compatibility with this InFeed resources. So we could not implement this for all resources because integration issues are there from the publisher end. So this was the major challenge which we faced, but our services are never stopped. Publishers are very kind to provide us the username and password for accessing the resources. So which these credentials we have already forwarded to our fraternity, and they are they all are using the resources which are subscribed by the IIT Delhi. So this was the biggest challenge, that we could not integrate all the resources with InFeed.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chaurasia. Now I have the next question for Dr. Sandeep Pathak, and it is related to the conversion of existing print book collection in the ebook form. So, Dr. Pathak, the question is that how useful this would be for academic community considering online classes due to COVID-19 pandemic situation. Dr. Pathak, you're
Yeah. Manish, am I audible?
there? Yes, sir.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that this is the exercise in being done right now in most of the institution, because students are sitting at home and they need the their textbooks, because teachers always refer the books in their course and accordingly they teach. So although we have some ebooks bundle already, but the students have demanded that the textbook should be available online. So then we decided to convert our existing print collection, and that to the in phase one, the only the text conversion of print book, that for the textbooks. So what we did actually, this publisher wise, we have segregated the list, and then we started communicating with the publisher, getting price, and then there are anything we need to see whether this pick and choose is better or bundle, all those things. But how they will be useful, because this textbook in e-form will be accessible to the students, so which will be very useful for them to do their coursework. So this will really help them. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Pathak. The next question that I have is for Dr. Basudev Mohanty. And the question is that whether there is a scope for improvement in librarianship. Dr. Mohanty.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir. You're
Yes.
audible.
Definitely the answer is yes. There is always a scope of improvement. We can always add innovations in terms of our services, products, resources, but we need to be vigilant what is happening in the industry. For us, like education and research, publishing world, financial models, and watch carefully the user behavior towards our deliverables. Let us take an example in servicing to our user. If they are coming to our library, we need innovative method to attract, engage, and ultimately delight them. Like I have given a model for curbside pickup that can be implemented, or any other innovation can be done in my presentation. Also, I have given another example on innovation, that on freelancing, like we can have already there are so many freelancing sites there, but it's a very generic in terms of getting the project and doing the work. But if a dedicated freelancing site can be done for the library and information professional, that is another innovation tool. Like you might have known that their publishers they have lot of pending work. Even big libraries, they are taking the projects. They need, like NDL at Kharagpur, they are huge workload was there. If a dedicated freelancing site can be done for library, totally library professionals, so that all the experts, all the librarians, all the library professionals, those who are free, they can put their give valuation, and they can income, do some, they can get some tangible benefit on that in terms of finance and all those things. Then there is always scope of innovation. There are a lot of scope for innovation. Similarly, in LIS education also, like we have a traditional most of the universities having the traditional LIS education, but even the innovation can be done library LIS, because the library is the lab. The library is the lab of the library science education. So that in education also the innovation can be done, like clubbing more areas to our domain, like intellectual property right, knowledge management information system. This can be clubbed, and library science should not be the only dedicated to only library. There should be, I think, if library science course are 30%, there should be 20% in IPR and 20% in knowledge management, 20% in MIS. I would say a librarian should be the best IPR professional. I will repeat, a librarian can be the best intellectual property professionals or data scientists or data analysts than any others. Moreover, we are doing so, but it should be more in a professional way. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mohanty. So now I have a question for Dr. Utpal Das. Dr. Das, the question for you that I've received from audience is how effective are remote login access software to help researchers to access e-resources remotely?
Yeah, that is a very basic questions at the end in the conclusion I put, because this area basically is having some sort of infrastructural problem, and there's always a incompleteness in internet and all. But as far as the remote access to easy proxy is concerned, those are excellent. We are getting excellent response from the. Sometimes we get problems from the digital or speed or whatever it is, those areas of the internet problems. But as far as the connectivity through, because we have given only one access point, remote access point, that is FedGate only, no other access, because I don't want to confuse by providing so many access point, remote access point for software for the users. So through that one, during this pandemic, previously it was a very less response because the library was open, people could come, and from FedGate they can access it from the campus itself. But the usability of that thing was very remote, because only faculty members and research scholars sometimes they used to it. But now during this pandemic period, the huge usability we have seen through FedGate. So I'm happy. I'm also encouraged to provide these services to them. But bearing those the infrastructure or the incompleteness of the internet aspect or bandwidth or speed or that thing, that is somehow sometimes it gives problems to us.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Das. And I would like to mention here that due to time constraint, we would not be able to take any more questions now. And believe me, there are lots and lots of questions that are flowing in. So sorry to the audience for whom, like for the questions that I was not able to take over here. I would like to express my gratitude to all our distinguished guests for answering the questions and interacting with our audience. So now I would like to request Weber to take over the floor.
Thank you, Manish. I would like to thank our panelists for giving their valuable inputs on the success stories in new normal. And I believe all of us have gained insights on how we can actually add value to the library services in today's COVID-19 situation. Thank you, Dr. Sandeep Pathak. Thank you, Dr. Basudev Mohanty, sir. Thank you, Dr. Neeraj Chaurasia, sir. And thank you, Dr. Utpal Das, sir. Thank you, Manish, for your valuable inputs. Now moving on to our last phase regarding certificates and quiz. So now I will be sharing two screens with all of you, all the distinguished participants and panelists. So this quiz is for the participants. Once the screen is open, first screen would be for the certificates. One email ID will be written over there. You just need to write down that email ID. And on that email ID, you need to send your details. So what details are required, that is also mentioned on that slide only. So please, you just need to write down this email ID, rupali.god@balaniinfotech.com. Drop your information of your full name, institute name, department, and designation. And within few days, in next 7 days, 7 to 10 days, you will receive your e-certificate. So this is information. Now, second slide is most important, as I believe many of us might be also looking forward to win the quiz. So now the screen which I will open. Now we have created a kind of game. So there are 35 characters actually. A URL will be visible to you in next slide. And you can write it down. You can take a picture of it, then use it as a URL, visit to that particular page. It is a Google page. Over there, the quiz questions are available. Questions are based on the discussions which happened in this webinar. Plus, you can use online sources like Google to find out the answers. Once we start receiving the answers, the first one with all correct answers will get the first prize, that is of worth rupees 3,500 Amazon gift voucher. The second all correct answers, which we will get as a reply, we will give a Amazon gift voucher of rupees 2500 rupees, and for the third one it is rupees 1500. So I am flashing that slide. This is last slide. The session will be just showing that slide for next 5 minutes. You all can visit, you can send your answers. We will be announcing the winners in next 24 hours through a mailer. As you have received a mailer for this session, in the same we will send you the mailer for the winners also, and we will inform them through calling them up, because in form we have asked for their numbers also. So now this is the time I'm showing you the second slide with that URL, and best of luck. Here it is. Please write it down, take a picture of this, visit it. The first one we get with all correct answers is first prize, second, and then third prize. Thank you all for participating for this quiz, and also for participating in this webinar. And thank you for the panelists, those who have been a backbone, a guide behind this whole webinar. And thank you to all our participants. Thank you. So this screen will be visible for next 5 minutes. And this is the last slide. Thank you all. The announcement of the winners will come through a mailer in your mails in next 24 hours. I believe now everyone already have written the link or taken a picture of it. So we are looking forward receiving your answers. Thank you all. Thank you all. We have started getting the replies. So as I told earlier, so we will be sharing the winners through a mailer within next 24 hours. Thank you all.